What's up, Laker fans? Brandon Ingram's put up better numbers in other games before, but his game against the Kings was my favorite offensive performance of his career. Let's take a closer look at why. But first, download the Vivid Seats app and get 10% off of your first order by using the link in the description. You'll be saving some money on tickets and helping me out too. Let's start with something where Brandon didn't get a stat. He was actively looking to set screens for teammates off of the ball. Watch how he frees up Josh Hart here and signals to Kyle Kuzma that that's where the ball should go. Josh attacks the closeout and gets the dunk, all because Ingram looked to set the screen instead of just standing at the top of the key. He frees up Kuz with a brush screen here. This screen doesn't directly lead to a basket, but the more weak side defenders you can occupy on plays like this, the more likely it is that someone makes a mistake, as we see here. This same concept transfers to when Brandon had the ball. Kuz flashes into the paint and Willie Cauley-Stein drops down to help. Both Brandon and Tyson Chandler read this correctly, with Chandler going to set a flare screen and Brandon passing the ball to KCP with that in mind. Cauley-Stein starts the play too far away to help, and KCP knocks down the open three as a result. Brandon continued to make these reads throughout the game, even if the Lakers didn't always convert on them. He had 9 assists and another 11 passes that would have been assists had the shot been converted. Here, he directs Chandler to set the screen on Hart's man. Bogdanovic is playing high side on KCP here, so KCP breaks off his route and cuts to the free throw line. Brandon recognizes it and makes the correct pass. Bogdanovic tries to cheat Lonzo's route to the corner here, so he back cuts it and Brandon makes a beautiful bullet pass to him, but Lonzo blows the layup. We have a Spain pick and roll here, and KCP's excellent back screen on Costa Koufis frees up Chandler for the dunk. Brandon did a good job of making these roll or skip pass reads throughout the game. Watch how JaVale communicates with him here. He wants him to use the screen, but as soon as he sees Bogdanovic weak the screen, he tells Brandon to go the other way. Brandon eventually does, but picks up his dribble too early. JaVale fights for position though and bails him out. Ingram needs to read the weak side tag man on these ball screens, and the Kings commit to tagging the roll man more than most teams do. That means the skip pass is what's going to be open, and Brandon recognized that on several different occasions. He's usually fantastic in transition, and this game was no different. Gorgeous ball fake here. But it was his passing in transition that really impressed me. You can see him surveying the court as soon as he catches the ball and makes a beautiful chest pass to Josh in stride. And he made a couple of really good passes after drawing the second defender in the post, but the Lakers came up empty on both shots. Brandon had fewer isolations in this game and was more efficient when he had them. I love how he finishes this pull-up jumper. His follow-through is usually too far forward, so smaller players can bother it. But here he finishes nice and high, and there's nothing Hield can do about it. This also helps him get the arc necessary to get a friendly bounce. He usually tries to force this shot, but dribbles through instead. He then dribbles for a while, but he's got his head up the whole time and is looking for cutters. It's just that nobody's open. Then he looks to attack. He usually forces this shot too, but this time he recognizes that he's drawn the second defender and kicks it out for the 3. He had a couple of nice jumpers and good shot selection. Bogdanovic goes under the screen here, so Ingram makes him pay. On this one, he uses a hard dribble pull-up after getting the big on his heels, which prevents him from getting any lift to contest the shot. The Kings defend the pick and roll differently than most teams do, because they don't hedge for very long, daring the ball handler to attack. That plays right into Brandon's strengths, and he took advantage of that. Even when the big eventually challenged on this one, this is an easy putback because Brandon put pressure on the rim. He's been a bit sloppy with his handle though. He puts this dribble in front of Cauley-Stein and it gets poked away. It wasn't a turnover because Hart tracked it down, but it's indicative of how loose he can get with these. But this one was a big turnover down the stretch. Let's watch it first and then zoom in on what happened. Ingram takes his hand off of the ball to try to use his off arm to fend off Shumpert, and that's when it got poked away. If he stepped through with his right foot across his body, he would have been able to shield the ball while keeping both hands on it. Lastly, Brandon missed his first 2 spot-ups, but didn't hesitate at all on either of them. He let it fly in the same way on the 3rd attempt, and he knocked down a huge 3 in crunch time. Brandon showed an understanding of read and react principles in this game, and made quick, correct decisions as quickly as I've ever seen them. That made this my favorite offensive game from him, and it could provide a great building block for the rest of the season. Laker Film Room is dedicated to helping you enjoy the Lakers on a deeper level. If you'd like to support the work that we do, please donate at the Venmo or Patreon links below. Happy New Year, everyone.